Hello, and welcome to chapter 193 of our streaming adventure. Today is scheduled for a wheel, but the card that came up on the wheel was Noble Hierarch. And that is already in the deck that we have been playing, and I want to continue to iterate on ahead of the Showcase Challenge on Sunday. So I reached out and said, does this count for your wheel choice? Because it's a deck they wanted to see played anyway, as well as, I couldn't more properly feature Noble Hierarch. Hey, thank you. This deck couldn't more properly feature Noble Hierarch because it's exactly what I want to do on the first turn, basically every time, because that accelerates me, as well as if I play it off a tropical, I already have Daze mana up, and the setback that comes from Daze effectively feels counteracted by the Noble, so I don't feel so bad. But yeah, I kind of feel like in general, this is definitely, at least how I've been playing it, whether I've been playing it wrong, I feel I want to accelerate to 3 mana, because then that way also turn 1 Noble, turn 2, say, Stoneforge Mystic. I'm casting Stoneforge Mystic with mana free to pay for a Daze or fight back using a Brainstorm or something to that effect. So I definitely think Noble has been doing heavy lifting, we should say. Now, changes from what I played yesterday. I took that Jace out of the main and trimmed on an Uro to give us a third weapon, and Sword of Fire and Ice, giving protection from blue and red. As long as it sticks on the creature, the pro red will save a lot of our dirtily idiots from bolts or stuff drawn later, can break through young Pyromancer army. Pro blue, the creature itself wouldn't get bounced, but in that situation, the equipment is likely to get bounced by a Brazen Borrower. Just things like that. You could swing through an Uro. Can't get bounced by a Teferi. Once again, the equipment would get bounced by a Teferi. And yeah, that's a good point. You would Brainstorm first to capitalize on the shuffle of the Stoneforge Mystic. Still makes sense. So trimmed an Uro, trimmed a Jace, plus Sword, and plus another True Name Nemesis. The earlier True Name Nemesis can come down and stick, the harder it is going to be for our opponents to deal with it. That would put more pressure on Planesworkers, things like that. Other than that, sideboard, there were Meddling Mages in the sideboard that I didn't really appreciate or like what was happening. Now, Collector Oof feels a little awkward in our equipment deck, but Collector Oof is specifically here to fight the Artifact, Storm, Mystic Forge combo, or Urza, any of that kind of stuff. Being able to turn off their stuff en masse is going to be pretty important. There really isn't that much other for it to do, but it will do that job very well. And then the other thing is Gideon, ally of Zendikar. I was thinking of putting Jason to the sideboard as a hedge against miracles when they're able to kind of contain our creatures, but in this case, let's let Gideon just fart out an army of 2/2s and go to town. So, yeah, those are the changes I have made for today. We will, of course, it wouldn't be a stream if I didn't take a deck that went 4-1 and make changes to it, but that's how I roll. So let's proceed and bring up ManaTraders and jump into our next match. Like I said, sitting at 4-1 right now, feels pretty good. Get into the queue and create the match. All right, we have our opponent. Won the die roll. I like it. This is everything I ever wanted. It's a Noble Hierarch. It's a True Name Nemesis. It's a Stoneforge Mystic. Keep it. It's got Skyclave Apparition. That guy's hot. So what does this mean? This means I'm dead somehow from like a combo deck because I have no interaction. Oh, it's a Goblin Guide. I allow it. Give me a draw. Force a Will. Cool. No blocks. So the question is it better to set up Stoneforge Mystic, go get Batterskull, and have Swords mana available to me? I mean, that seems pretty good. I'll take a Batterskull. Just in case something happens, we have Force of Will to protect. Drew me a card. Play this one. Let's get basic here. Start to not be as greedy. I guess I did not need to run out the Batterskull, but why not? Put on top. Pay for life. Let's exalt. And then we have hard cast Force of Negation to clear up anything if I need to. Okay. Next thing they play, we could Skyclave it. Tackle this one. I am not sure how they could be more dead. I need to clear this wasteland off the top. Although maybe I keep it. Lava Spike, I'll allow it. Top. Blue, green. Okay, attack. Put them at 10. Put them at Uro plus Batterskull deck. I'll admit, they're sticking in this game longer than I expected. Okay. So, won the first one. I think this is like the pretty easiest Hydroblast in that I've ever seen. Otherwise, I mean, Batterskull, Sword, and Jit all seem powerful. Sylvan Library is maybe something that can come out. I don't necessarily like giving Path to Exile. The rest of this stuff, I don't know if I necessarily want any of it. They could have Sulfuric Vortex or Blood Moon or whatever. We don't know if they're just mono red or what. But I think Hydroblast will do the job, whatever it is we decide to have. So right now, I kind of feel like that's the only thing to change. I'm not sure if these Dazes are going to be good enough, but Daze at least has the potential to do something, which is more than I can say about, well, a lot of these cards. Fluster will stop something, so I'll do a Fluster for a Daze. Should I do Fluster for 2 Dazes, especially since we're on the draw? Just effectively upgrade the Dazes into Fluster Storms. Yeah, I'm never going to actually probably pay life for Sylvan, although I did here, so what do I know? Would I rather have Path to Exile just to have more answers to small stuff, or just accept that I have a Daze? We'll do that. All right, knowing that our opponent is burned, do we want Brainstorm? Like, Apparition doesn't seem great, but I think I'm going to keep. We can draw stuff with Brainstorms. We can set up, say, Goblin Guides or whatever from them. Interesting. Well, I think I want the Force. No, Force is the worst one here. So do that. No shuffle. Play a Tundra. Okay. That'll stop Uro. Oh, hello there. We played into price when he could have had everything and fetched around price. I'm not sure what you mean. I do not have another basic here. I think I have to get tropical. Fire Blast, Stoneforge Mystic. Nice draw. If I can not expose... I feel like last time I played it before I needed to. I guess I could have waited till I had the 3 to bounce it back. That would just be the cleanest way overall. After all that fighting over it, and then I just played Batterskull exposed, so that just looks stupid. Yeah, I could have just waited the one more turn. They've drawn a lot of lands. I almost did, and then I elected not to. I was like, oh, I could thin the other one, but what if I draw a Brainstorm? No, what if you draw the snow-covered forest, Dungus? What are all these cards in their hand? More anti-artifacts? If only I had waited. Big dummy. There we go. Is there a chance to... They have to have the you gain, like, what is it? Skullcrack is what I'm thinking. Yeah. Price of Progress. Cool. 246. Fail to find. And I shouldn't have tapped the Wasteland. I purposely did. I tapped the Wasteland on purpose, but it's my own fault. Yep. So that was just poor sequencing on my part. That was terrific. Imagine if I had also just let the Stoneforge go instead of throwing all of the cards after Stoneforge. That was the bigger mistake. Being too greedy. Bring a Daze back in on the play, see if we can get mileage out of that. Stop being a dungus, Jeremy. Stop being a dungus. Opponent is back in the tank. They seem to be mono red, which makes sense. There are only 6 green cards in our deck. Why is that relevant? It doesn't do anything. Here we go. So keep this, lose Uro. Lose Uro or lose True Name? No, True Name would close the door the fastest. Turn 1 Noble, turn 2 Stoneforge, followed by Ponder. Or should I just get True Name in play? Yeah. I was playing this yesterday. I settled on some Noble Hierarch stuff. Now they could have. Fuck no, I'm not. I'm not playing a squirrel. Basic plains or basic island? I'm gonna go with basic plains. No, I'm not. I am not playing a squirrel. Go with Batterskull again. And here, I think I am going to ponder. Ponder to see what I can set myself up with. Brainstorm into fetch lands. Not bad, not bad. So what do I have? I have white. This could get me blue. That could get me green. No. Doing pretty good. I go for my second shot on Thursday. So right now, Thursday is going to be interesting. I mean, do I just kind of pass? 3 or less. I don't necessarily want to jam Batterskull into the artifact destruction. All right, I have a plan. It's not a good plan, but it is a plan. We'll see what they do. I feel like that's what the plan should have been, was to play True Name Nemesis. But that is no longer the plan. Hell yeah, that's my autobiography. I have a plan. It is not the best plan. So I know I am drawing another land currently. At least there is another land on top. The question is, do I think they have Pyroblast? Well, we can go get another thing here. I'll allow it. You got Pyroblast? Nope. Exalt me. Casts a spell. Oh, we knew we were going to draw that, didn't we? So the question is if they're just going to destroy the artifact again. Hit you for 4. They take 1. They have a lot of mountains. You got me. Price of progress, double Fire Blast. I can't gain life this turn. How unfair. How unfair. So if this... Everybody go. And go get the final equipment. Plus, maybe we block. You cannot have my Caracas. I will not take the damage. Six mountains over there. That's got to be pretty rough. What did they exile? We exiled Eidolon. So they had an Eidolon, a Smash, and a Vort. I'm sorry. What the hell is this? I would like to gain life in response. Resolves. Ooh. I'm gonna suit up my bad boy. Attack with this thing. Bang. I feel like that was closer than it needed to be, but I will accept the W. All right. Fire up another one. I must say, being on the play is better than being on the draw. I mean, it's really breathtaking stuff to let you guys know. But sorry, I had a person asking a vaccine question, funny enough. JP's wife got the one and done dose. And so I got my first shot before. She got the double dose in the middle, and I'm still waiting to get my second. Meanwhile, she had some symptoms, but she got over it, which is very good. I myself am waiting on... I had no reaction at all to the first shot. The question is going to be what reaction to the second shot, because I hear if you had the virus, you tend to react more to your first shot. If you have not had the virus, you tend to react more to the second shot. At least that is what I have heard. I cannot present anecdotal evidence until I get anecdoted. There is no... I don't know if there is scientific reasoning for that, but I don't know. I also know that I have a bee sting allergy, so I am used to getting shots. Like, I've had shots basically most of my life, so it doesn't really bother me at all. Create the match. Create the match. All right, we have our opponent. We have won the die roll. I'm liking it. We won the die roll with whatever the crap this hand is? Come on. Mulligan it. All right, everything we ever wanted. Turn 1, Noble Hierarch. Gotta love it. So we're keeping this. No idea what they are, so let's at least diversify our options. Throw away a Flutterstrand. Everyone's favorite, Tropical Island Noble Hierarch. I hope this Swords is worth it. Chromox, Swords not worth it. Maybe they're Red Prison. Maybe they're Cabal Therapy. Maybe they're Thoughtseize. Chrome Mox Cabal Therapy Thoughtseize. It's a Storm. Goodbye, Brainstorm. Oh, crap. Barf. I'm thinking oops all spells based on the Turn Timber. Ooh. Alright, so blue, green. Let's go Tundra here. We want blue and green cards for Uro. Get Tundra. Blue. Nice. Taste it. Dark Ritual, huh? Nope. 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 Oh, you're simian nonsense. Boo. Well, that means they had the simian anyway. But, does this give us a turn to kill the idiot? Don't have another one. You know I'm holding a Swords. GTFO. Have I played a land? I played a land this turn, so let's go do. No shuffle. So they currently have like one rando in hand. I play Brainstorm to make sure I have... No, I'm going to draw the land. Right? Did I put them back wrong? I draw the land. And I have blue, blue, green, green. Blue, blue, green, green. 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that's probably tough but fair. Had we gotten in for one, I don't feel like the 19 is necessarily relevant. I was thinking the Brainstorm was like emergency. No, if it's your only card in hand, you draw 3 and put 2 back, so we couldn't even do anything with that. Okay. The question is, should I make a brainstorm? Ooh. Put so that puts them at 13. Because I didn't particularly think that part through. Am I dead? Cool. I don't know. Can you 28 me? They probably can, right? Or how does this version win? That's probably a better question. Let's look at the cards. Okay, they're going to bring back Thassa's Oracle, so then we just die. Well, what's the one that brings back, they have like Vengevines, and then there's like the World Spine Worm? You know what I'm talking about? Like, and yeah, the Dread Return's right there. Just let's make him put it on the stack. Nah, they're not going to screw it up. So, Oops deck. Oops deck is another we can put Collector Oof in. Collector Oof can mess with the Chromoxes and stuff of the world. Okay. So things we want. Yeah. All right. Surgicals. Collector Oof. Theoretically, Flusterstorm would have done better than the Dazes there. But, I mean, if they're going for it on the first turn, we probably have to. There's a lot of crap here. I mean, if I keep in. So, Surgicals and Oof, and theoretically Flusterstorm. Carpet Flowers does nothing. Hydroblast does nothing. Deafening Silence could stop their ritual whatever else stuff. I mean, it stops me too, but theoretically it could do something. I mean, I'm on the theoretically do stuff version of our deck now. I feel like for the most part. Now, what kind of sideboard plan do they have? They could have counters, so I'll keep that for now. Giddy up. Alright, so this hand is terrible. This hand is better. Keep ship. They mulligan to 6. So we will ponder and then try to land turn 2 oof and hopefully turn off their artifact mana. And hope that's good enough. What would be nice is if they drew the Thassa's Oracle. They stayed at 6. I'm liking this more and more, so let's go ponder, waste, days. No shuffle. Because then this lets me theoretically daze, but I would like to get Collector Oof in first. Not that this daze is smashing or anything, but every little bit helps, especially when they mulligan. Spirit Guide, Xantid Swarm. Am I happy with my Collector Oof next turn? No, because they'll be able to turn me off every time. Days. Days can go. This is when they follow up with Dark Ritual, whatever, and then throwing away the days, which is flat out wrong. Pass turn. Yep. If I took these, I could draw the Noble. I could play the Noble, attack for 3, and waste them. Okay, this will get green, white. Tag that, pass turn. I've done the thing, and then you comment, hey, this is the thing you should do. Alright, ponder again. Well, hello there. So we could play another Noble, or better yet, we could brainstorm into... So we would see Noble, Hierarch, Wasteland, one more friend. Put 2 cards back and then fetch away. Nice combo. So that goes back. That'll sit on top of it. Play this noble. Play our land. If they play... Too late. That is a valid point, but I've got collector oof beats. I've got stuff to do. So, if they play a land, we draw the wasteland. If they don't play a land, we crack Misty Rainforest for greener pastures. Trop. Had it. Had it the whole time. Beats. I like the part where they're going to have to block eventually. Now, what's interesting is, why block to protect 6 life? Why do you wait till I have a card in my hand? That's interesting. Maybe protecting the ability to... Because otherwise they would be at 2 life. They're going to follow up with another thing with a turn Timberland here and kill us. Another one of the pay 3 life on tappers. Or not. Hello there. We got him? Taste it. I like how we decided to draw all crap the rest of the way. Is Sword of Feast and Famine better than Fire and Ice? I guess deal 2 more damage makes the clock less, whereas this is making them throw cards away. There's nothing here I want. Now that we have seen... Now that we have seen they have Xantid Swarm, do I want some swords or the path back? I mean, maybe. I don't know about that Deafening Silence. Yeah, I mean, like, they're a creature-based combo deck. I'm just thinking, like, that stops them from playing the ritual kill. That stops them from having, like, Mox into the kill. Or, if they go for the kill, I get to hold up my 1 counter. So that's the only reason I'm thinking Deafening Silence isn't garbage. How about this? I'm going to cut a Daze for a Path to Exile, so if I draw the Path to Exile, I know it could have been a Daze. That's how my brain thinks. It doesn't... Hey, look! It could have been days. So they have mulligan to 6. This doesn't really do anything other than surgical extraction. The more I'm thinking about it, I think I'm just going to keep. Because I can get Noble Hierarch, and then when they mill themselves, if I surgical the Narcomoebas, I don't think they can actually cast anything. They wouldn't have the... They wouldn't have the bodies to Dread Return. That's my thought. That's also true. The old keep my hand past the turn. Now I'm thinking, do I just sit back on Flusterstorm? I kind of want to. Like, why would they have passed? What sense does that make? I mean, I can wait to play. I talked myself into waiting. I don't know if it's right, but I talked myself into it. Like, could they have just, like, clicked through their first turn? That seems strange. Transformational sideboard. Nice. If that's true, or maybe they're keeping to get the Oracle in the graveyard. Big brain plays on their side. All right, so next turn, I kind of want to keep this package up. I want to keep Fluster Surgical available. I don't understand what they're doing. Like, maybe they thought their hand worked and they were wrong? That just seems strange. That is a fair statement. If I don't die, I don't think I can lose. To be fair, I've died before. It just didn't take. They're discarding. I choose you, Pikachu. Pass turn. I feel pretty good about this. Like, I thought about hitting that, but it's are they baiting me with Undercity Informer and then they just have Balustrade Spy and I look like a Dungus? Summoner's Pact. That resolves. Alright, whatever is happening here, because there's a Summoner's Pact on the stack. Or I should say, Summoner's Pact has resolved. Is it worth fighting over this? I don't think so. Let them build the Flusterstorm up more. Okay. We'll let that happen. We see 3 Pact of Negations here. I think there's probably a Simian Spirit Guide. I will look at the cards. Look at the cards. Put some triggers on the stack. I have a response. Thassa's Oracle. That one. Same target. Oops, we won. I'll take it. All right. Back into the breach. What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 1. Look at us go. Playing like we know what we're doing. I mean, we don't, but that's what I said. Playing like we knew. Oh. I agree. Jacka 1983 off the top rope with Days would have been better to Path to Exile, 150% true. But now we know. That's why because it could have, if it was swords, it could have been any swords. I do agree. All right. Well, while we're waiting, I will do my shill. Can't even shill. Create the match. Stephanos. And we have our opponent. Won the die roll. I think we're hot today. All right, so what do we got? We've got all the damn equipment in my hand and a mulligan. So if I were to play things slower here, the question is Apparition better than Uro? And the answer is I don't know. Which is a harder effect to replicate? I feel like the Skyclave is a harder effect to replicate. There's only 2 of them in each in their deck. Bayou? Excuse you? Llanowar Elves off a Bayou. Most likely. I kind of like this. The better question is, do I throw the Jit out there? No. Wait to deploy the Jit till I need it. So Misty Rainforest could get Savannah. Well, what I'm thinking is I could just daze this, and then I'm going to untap and eat the symbiote. That's my thought process. I guess I could just do this. Keep Force of Will for a bigger threat. I mean, I expected that much. The question here is, what is better to steal on that side? The mana? Okay. So Windswept Heath could get 2 mana. Well, barf. Yikes. Get a Dryad Arbor. And am I just dead to... Well, am I really going to swing into Nettle Sentinel? I guess probably, but I was hoping for much better things off that Brainstorm than a couple more lands. I want to deal with stuff before I see it getting out of control. But they could just have another Symbiote or another Dryad Arbor. So they have to block with Nettle Sentinel, right? Yeah. All right. So they're down to 3 mana. But we also know that's annoying. Yeah, let that one happen. Maybe they won't hit a land. But we know we are drawing into a tropical island, so that's going to be a whiff. They found a foothills. Take 2. Do you have a third Dryad Arbor? Whew! Could have been worse. So 3, 4, 5. I'm doing this because it makes them tap the Cradle now. And I don't really think it's going to do much later, because otherwise it would tap for 4. They're really only going to get 1 out of this. That was my thought anyway. Otherwise, it taps for 4. They get to bounce a Visionary and maybe do more things. They hadn't played a land yet either, so... Nice, basic forest. Visionary. They have not yet used the symbiote. More Visionaries. Pick up a Visionary. Play a Heritage Druid. Tap these guys, untap it, replay a Visionary. Float a green. Glad this isn't a like shapeshifter or whatever the crap. That'd be bad. So they're gonna have discard and abrupt decay type things. Is it too late? So, do I want the shotgun effect of Sword and Fire and Ice, or do I want Batterskull? All right. Three green. I expect this to be a bad turn for me. I'm also only at 8. I could untap. Okay. Untap one of the summoning, non-summoning sick. Non-summoning. Somebody that's been around this turn that can still attack. I think that's the most important thing there. And then just Crater Hoof me. Right? The problem is if I attack with this, they just block with the elf and pick it up, and then there's nothing I can do to stop that. Crater Hoof. Nope, not yet. We're getting there. Do I know what I'm drawing? I do not currently know what I'm drawing. Not that it matters, because we're probably not going to live. Correct, we are dead. Oh, don't show me that. Draw the swords. Anyway. Well, I guess I want to Path to Exile. I feel like Force of Negation is an easy out. Yeah, if I'm going to get attrition-y, I guess Fluster deals with Green Suns, stuff like that. I feel like I'm going to get outmoded by the Allosaurus Shepherd quickly. Maybe not. Is Sword of Fire and Ice cuttable, or what are the things you trim on it? Like, I think I need Force of Will as like emergency, or these days. Honestly, the dazes kind of feel bad. I'm looking at the dazes. I think I was going to cut the Force of Negation because I feel like in the most part, Teferi is indeed trashier. Is Force of Negation, like if you're bringing in Flusterstorms, is Force of Negation important enough to keep for those key spells. I could believe that. I'm just not sure. Because if I did that, I could cut dazes, but I'm going to be on the play here. So that's why I was more likely to keep daze. I could see Sylvan Library. Sylvan Library seems weaker. We rely on the other cards for our draw. Path, Fluster's sword in, the other sword to ferry Sylvan's out. Makes sense. Alright, so we lost the first one to Elves. I would like to play first. Yeah. Wasteland can deal with Dryad Arbor or Gaia's Cradle shenanigans. Swords could specifically deal with Allosaur Shepherd. I want to use this primarily against some of their utility guys like Symbiote and stuff like that. I think that is the better mileage play. Basic Forest. Green Sun. Dryad Arbor. So my question here, I can brainstorm to clear up some clutter. But then I would have to crack it to get swords off on the Arbor. I could also just wasteland the Dryad Arbor, effectively setting them back. Just longer term that way, make them bring another one out. Good call on the Cradle. Hi, buddy. I like the idea of Containment Priest. Let's write that one down. I could see Containment Priest would be better off than the one idiot. We could hit Stoneforge. Good call. Good call. Now the question is, do I want Batterskull or Sword of Feast and Famine? I kind of want the Sword of Feast and Famine. Don't thought seize me, bro. I'll allow it. Alright, so then we'll jit up the Mystic. Tropical. Man, they're gonna get Wirewood Symbiote. Man. There goes my plan. So the plan was to play and equip Jit. I can no longer do that with Symbiote protecting Visionary. That's bold. So the question is, do they... My thought here is I play Jit, keeping up end step, drop, Sword of Feast and Famine, and then I can equip both of those on. What I'm saying is, if I get this in play, and then I'm waiting to drop this, other than... Play that, equip. I can't equip as an instance, the only real thing. Okay, they're bouncing it right now. Before tapping Cradle for 4 green feels weird. Maybe because they're expecting to get more than 4 green out of it. Plausible. Expecting to get more than 4 green out of it. Plausible. Yeah, this all feels bad. Like, what's this last couple cards in hand, I think, is the thing. One, two, three, four, five, six. This could be... One, two... Another Elvish Visionary. What are we making him discard? Windswept Heath. Alright, and I'm going to leave up Force of Will and hope it's good enough. So the real question is, do you counter the Elvish Visionary? I don't think so. You wait to counter the thing that matters. Now, if they draw Allosaurus Shepherd, that is terrible for me, but I think I have to live with that. Because they've already got their one bounce. No, they played the first one. That is their bounce. Okay. Yep. So what I'm saying is it does make more sense to not counter the Visionary. They would have gotten a draw anyway. Wait to see what they get with the Visionary, and that's what we counter. But live with the fact that an Allosaurus Shepherd just kills me. Dryad Arbor. Savannah. 8 green. Reclamation Sage. Do you have... I mean, they could just have something else. Get me. What it... I couldn't... We could have saved for this natural order, but I don't think I could let Rexage come in, because Rexage takes this off, and then Symbiote just turns off the JIT anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We were going to draw Force of Will. Hilarious. All right. We lose. Maybe talking all the trash has not been good about elves. It happens. Let's play another one. Actually, the nice thing, we are allowed to change our deck. Look at that. Containment Priest has joined the board. You're allowed to just do that in general, and I think that's probably not a bad idea. Collector Oof and Containment Priest give us different kind of sideboardy hate bears. Good call, good reminder, and I think that was a worthwhile change. Fair enough, fair enough. Dear opponent, Come join us. Doot, doot, doot. We have our opponent. Lost the die roll. All of our hopes and dreams have been dashed. I mean, this could be a turn 1 Ponder into a Stoneforge Mystic. I don't hate this. We will see how bad it is, but I think it has merit. This is bad news. There is a Seagate Restoration. Is this the Show and Tell, Omnitel? Top, bottom off that priority. Nope. I like the basic planes. Incoming Teferi. Now, my question is Sylvan Library or Stoneforge Mystic? I think I want to go with Stoneforge Mystic. Give myself the chance to put pressure in the form of Batterskull. Non-land, non-tile, 4 or less. Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to cut Skyclave Apparitions in this matchup. Impulse. Teferi. Or just Show and Tell. Force Pitching Omniscience. Oh, okay. I mean, my choice is Library is going to get me the most possible outs. That's got to be better than anything. Put Library in. Okay, I agree. Yeah, look at us. We're putting enchantments in play. It's cool. The fact that they only followed up with a ponder? Sylvan can't draw us into... Well, that's not great, because if they get Emrakul, yeah, now we're dead. If they just get Emrakul, then Caracas does not stop it. Yeah, we're dead. Bum, bum, bum. All right. So... Yeah, Nathan has been playing Blue-White Omnitel basically forever, and I think that's the main one that he recommends. All right, so... Fluster... Carpet... I mean, how good is Carpet if they have a basic Plains and the other thing? Maybe Carpet's not even that good. But I think Deafening Silence... Is Wilt... Can we respond and try to take out an Omniscience? Is that even plausible? We can look at the Omnitel primer itself. Rest in peace, Lavinia. Those are bad. Does he say how he sideboards against us? Probably like, well, their deck sucks, so what do I care? Yeah, we're not even on the list. Okay. I mean, these swords have to be bad, right? So, Skyclave Apparition has to be worse than swords. Because for the most part, I don't think Skyclave Apparition can hit anything. Do I want Feast and Famine for the tap? Do I want Feast and Famine for the discard? I'm going to take the extra card versus the discard. I'm going to lean that way and see if it feels right. I should have Umezawa's Jit should be out of the deck. I would agree with that. All right, we'll keep this. Ponder can set up. Brainstorm, Snow-Covered Island, Tropical Island. So as of right now, we could rely on Brainstorm giving us better options later. So maybe we go with that. Yeah, I agree with that. So the intent will be get Stoneforge down. And I left the JIT in, so the JIT was wrong. That should have come out. I don't know what I was really thinking there, but I think of it as default good, and in this situation, it's not. Top off that preordained. Why play out the Lotus Petal there? For a turn, or potentially 5 a turn. I kind of want this Sword of Fire and Ice. If I take Sword of Fire and Ice, next turn I can drop that down, and then when I would be attacking with Batterskull, although I'll have less mana available, I like the idea behind it. I think I would rather have, if that could have been Feast and Famine, I think I go get Feast and Famine. Whether that's correct, I think I would have gone and got Feast and Famine. I thought I passed the turn. Close that. Ponder. It's too bad we couldn't have gotten a blue equipment and have an extra card for Force of Will. They shuffled. I like the fact they shuffled. I'm just questioning whether I want Misty. I don't necessarily want to lose these cards, so I think I'm okay with that. Brainstorm from them. We are punished by the Wasteland not. If Misty Rainforest, Brainstorm could have drawn into a Flusterstorm that we can't do with Wasteland. So that is a reason to not have played Wasteland there. My thought was I want to preserve the fetch land for Brainstorm, but I see why that is currently wrong. Okay. Are they going to cash in something here to like bounce my guy? If they do I care? I think I don't care. Let's see what they do to this daze. They have 5 cards in their hand remaining. Plus, this is also me thinking of getting more cards in my hand for Brainstorm to potentially convert. Whether that's relevant, we'll see. But my thought is, let's put them to the test here. Okay. Do I connect? Do I care for another one? I would say no. And that just gives me more fuel. Wow. I mean, quite literally, wow. So I'm going to put away these. Now the question is, can they go for it? They've played a land this turn. They started by playing a Plains. Now they're playing Teferi. The question will be, is if they plus it, well, then I kill Teferi. If they... They would have to have Lotus Petal, Lotus Petal. It doesn't matter. So this is what I'm saying. I don't... But I do kill it. If this comes into play and they bounce the sword, then it's at 1. I kill it and still have Force of Will. If they play it and plus, I attack, exalt, kill it. I think I can let it resolve. I don't think it's right, but I think I can let it resolve. We'll see if I'm wrong. Does Sword of Fire and Ice not? Oh, I was saying I had Sword of Fire and Ice shooting the opponent in the head. That is what I messed up. I had Sword of Fire and Ice killing Teferi. All right, I'm wrong. Serves me right. Darn it. So now they're like, wait, what has he got? Why would he let that resolve? What a conundrum. Damn it. All right, we need to draw Noble Hierarch off the top. Yes, we are ready to fetch away the 11 tropical islands that are on top of my library right now. Opponent. Return. Okay. Resolves. My question is, do I attack it with Stoneforge or do I attack it with Noble? I think I attack it with Noble. The mana isn't necessarily the limiting factor for me. I wanted to redeploy the Sword of Fire and Ice. What is your plan? I wanted to attack with Noble, play Stoneforge, end step, drop the Sword of Fire and Ice. Yeah, if only I had the Feast and Famine in. I didn't do it, and that's the problem. Forgot the Feast and Famine. We did? Cunning Wish. I'm going to let it happen because I think the bigger problem would have been I counter this. Well, no, they already played a land, so maybe I needed to counter this. This gets them the protection. That's all I'm thinking is, did that just go get protection? Or I don't know. What are they going to get here? Impulse. Alright, I'm not as worried anymore. I think it's going to be okay. I think I'm getting more and more that I feel okay. Alright. If I attack with both of these versus... No, just attack with one. Just the true name. Protection from blue, red, and melon 9. I like that. Draw me a blue card. I accept. Impulse resolves. Imagine if I had had a Sword of Feast and Famine to make them have 2 less cards, but I guess their 2 less cards would be my 2 more cards, and then same difference. You dead? You dead yet? Okay. Are you going to get Orem's Chant? I was kidding. Nice. I would like to force a will that. All right. Sword of Feast and Famine in. Umezawa's Jit out. Anything else here? Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile. Skyclave Apparition has not shown like it's needed at all. Carpet of Flowers seems like it could have been tricksy there, but I still don't know if that's necessarily worthwhile. I just like what more do I want to bring in? The only other thing is like this Swords to Plowshares feels terrible. So I think I can take this Swords out. That's fair. I was going to take this Swords out for the 1 Wilt. Just because I feel like I can pull it off. I think it's got to be better than Swords. And I will trade an Uro for a Skyclave for that one time it eats a Teferi. What did I change? I gotta take something out. Oh, Jit, get out. This is obviously the greatest plan in the world. And by that, I mean, Scott, it's better than Hydroblast, right? Big bucks, no whammies. I mean, they Cunning Wished twice. Oh, what is this hand? We got a Caracas, but that's not good. This can't be keepable. I mean, we could ponder and hope that Flusterstorm, but we're not doing anything else. I don't feel like this is good enough. Had it. Bye, Skycleave. Maybe with all the basics, I feel like Carpet is wrong, but I could be wrong. Bottom, preordain. Tropical. I could not be playing more of a Noble Hierarch deck, I think. Let's just see if I'm dead, though. Well, Preordain bottomed. And this is the old tap my island, play a fetch land. Well known around the world. Cashing it in now. Another cantrip. Yep. Basically, set up defense, set up defense, set up defense. They shuffled at least. That's the fact they shuffled is the only redeeming factor here, really. I like that. I think they have to force. Okay. Pass turn. Too bad you can't play like True Name Nemesis as a instant. Brainstorm resolves. All right, so I could put pressure. Green. So hear me out. My thought is actually, let's keep double counter like one more turn. No, let's just get true name out there. Because true name will then attack for 5, 5, 5. Or I attack for 2 here, puts him at 16. No, then I'm farther away. I'm just liking the idea of 2 different counter spells. I could also attack for 1, put him at 17, and then 5, 5, 5. That doesn't seem good enough. Once I've pursued this play, we just do this. That's a good draw. So my thought here is tap for green, bounce it, replay, and I'll get an extra draw off of it, but that makes less sense than just play Force of Will. So we're going to plus and attack for 5. As long as I can be doing that where we have our counterspell protection up, let's just do that. That's 1. Let him go for something, answer it, next thing. They're going to run out of things to do. All right, that's 5 mana. Come on, Days. Come on. Well, the, what do you call it, doesn't save them anymore. What could this be? This could be Cunning Wish. Okay. Cunning Wish can be a lot of things. They've already played their white. Whatever it is, they'd have to play it right now. And it's just the question, is it a 1 mana or is it a 2 mana spell? I'm willing to let it be a 2 mana spell so I can daze it. Big bucks, no whammies. Big bucks, no whammies. They got impulse. Last days on impulse. Can we draw one more noble hierarch? I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Could this be a more noble hierarchy match? That's a damn picture. This is the most noble hierarchy I could get. Well, you know what that means. We did it. We have to play one more match, but even if we lose that match, we got our 70%, we're in. That's me. Oh, you couldn't see it. That's me patting myself on the back. All right, if we win one more, we'll be sitting at 80%, right? One. Yeah, we got to win one more. So they have the match waiting for me. All right, last one. Won the die roll. I like it. All the noble hierarchs. I still like it. Keep. All right, so tropical, noble, and that lets me have days available if it's something bad news. And then otherwise we're ramping into this Uro here. All right, pass turn. I feel like we've been we did noble hierarch proud. I think that's the key here is we did noble hierarch proud. Especially drawing it for the win. So, you're saying it's ninjas. I cannot counter the ninja ability, correct? The ninja ability itself is not casting anything? No. Ornithopter, I'll allow it. Buckle up, buddy. Got some exalted beats. They have force of will, right? Ponder, I'll allow it. The question is, next turn a Uro turn or a true name turn? I kind of want it to be a true name turn. And then that lets me turn up the damage. And then I can, if next turn is a true name turn, then we can follow up with Uro behind that. I like that. They did not shuffle. They have found themselves Retrofitter Foundry. Noble Hierarch is now the worst card in the deck. Just kidding. I can never quit you. Uro. Play land. That only have 3 in there. Yep. So here comes their force. That would have been nice to have days on, maybe. But I assume they have to be holding a ninja, but they haven't played it off the Ornithopter. So now I don't think they have ninja. It's very intriguing. They could have just had a 4/4. Elected not to. They have to have a ninja. Yeah, they have the ninja. Show Baleful Strix. Play the Ornithopter. Well, now. Do I want to play? I had plans for this Uro, but now I think I would rather double Stoneforge. I could get Umazawa's Jit and what do you call it? I'm blanking on the name right now. Okay, so if I do that, I want the extra land. Tundra here. We're holding Baleful Strixes in their hand, right? If this just gets Batterskull and then we follow that up with Jit, that seems good. Alright, so Jit has to be better because that will. It doesn't have to be better. We could give ourselves Pro Blue. Then Baleful Strix can't even block. That might be better. Not letting Baleful Strix block. And then we can just gun stuff down. Whereas the Jit will let them get Death Touch off. Yeah. Let's do it that way. I'm talking myself into it, out of it. I'm not sure. All right, they have decided to cash in a 4/4. I can let that happen due to the fact I'm going to pull Batterskull. Whenever a ninja deals combat damage. Create a servo. Sacrifice a servo. So they could make blockers, but then that would make Jit a better choice. This is kind of their last chance to swing, too, right? It's like I just blocked this. Take 4. You're not a ninja, right? You're a ninja construct? It has to be unblocked to do the ninja-ing, I believe. So they have Baleful Strix. They could have... I don't know what they could have. I don't know ninjas enough to know what they could have. You know how to remedy that? Empty show focus. They did something. They fatal pushed me. I'll allow it. I mean, I think that was reasonable. They were debating whether they wanted to cash in Baleful Strix. So, alright, now 2 mana puts in Batterskull. So this protects Batterskull. I could just throw Sword of Fire and Ice in right now. And then it's sitting around waiting. I could also play Uro to give myself some life cushion, which maybe I need. That is not a terrible plan to get some life cushion. Because we know Baleful Strix is one of the cards in their hand. They now know what the 2 cards in my hand are. I accept. Technically, we could bring Uro back right now. And then Uro stands in front of the construct. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless they have a force for this, and then I have chosen poorly. But if they have a force, that means they don't have a removal. I can still block there. So that's what they're debating is, do they have another force? Nope, but we have the card of the day. You can never have enough Noble Hierarchs, which is not true. You absolutely can, but... What? They have given themselves a chance at a ninja again. That was a good play. Baleful Strix has entered the team. So Sword gets around this one. The Death Touch, anyway. Paying costs over there. What costs do they have to pay? Sacrifice a servo, make a... Brainstorm's a good one. Sacrifice a servo, make a Thopter. So they can upgrade that. Block, and then sacrifice. That's clever. Can you sacrifice? Then it would be a Thopter. They can block, they can sack the Thopter. Slowly but surely, they'll make themselves a powerful effect. Meanwhile, we'll still get the draw out of this. I like that aspect of it. All right, brainstorm in effect. They could be digging for removal. They could have another fatal push that'll make my equip plan go poorly. So my thought is, hear me out. We cast Sword of Fire and Ice. Correction. We drop Sword of Fire and Ice into play. We suit up our boy. We move to combat. They will now fatal push us. The question I think I have is, do I want Jit? Well, we're going in with this boy. Uro is rumbling, fumbling, stumbling. They've let us get the trigger here. That's interesting. Like, I guess you have to let me attack. Or if you don't let me attack. But I mean, I get to draw a card. Maybe that was part of the plan. Is let me draw a card. But okay, say I move to combat at the beginning. That's not what I expected. Murdered. Straight murder. No. Okay, so now my plans involve, I could equip. I could brainstorm into gas. Oh, hello. What if you want all of them? All right, so maybe not noble here. Cards we're going to draw next turn. I think now that we're at whatever, we put that back. I think I'm going to deploy Noble Hierarch here. So if I play Noble Hierarch, I have all the nobles. What do you want me to do? All of the nobles. That gives them an extra chance to have sack a servo, Create a colorless Thopter. That's all you're attacking with? I think we say no so that if they try to flip it, we let them have that. I think that construct could have rumbled. Just suit it all the way up. We know that they're holding Baleful Strix. Power it up. They have to block with Servo. Are you saying when they only attacked with one? I think they have to block with Servo so that I don't get actually in. Yeah. Okay. So then... Now we know what's on top. We don't know what's under it. I don't think Batterskull is what I need. So I'm going to let that go. Terrible. This is 2 to make a Servo, 3 to untap, 1 to make another one. Okay. So the only thing that could block right now is this construct. What do you got for me, opponent? We also now we have an Uro that can come back to life. That's the other thing. Beginning of combat. And tag that Baleful Strix. Just so it can't attack and then be eligible. No attackers from their side. That's all good news. Oh, hello. These are all good. Okay, so once it's a construct, there's nothing left to do. Attack with this. You cannot block with Yuriko, but if you make a servo, I eat the servo. I like how this is like turn 53 or something. Petty theft. Boo. Boo. So I don't get to draw my card. That's clever. Green, green, blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would like to draw my Skyclave apparition. We put the apparition there. Let's draw it. Then the question is, do I cash it in? All right. That was finally enough. Whew. How does ninjutsu work? Does ninjutsu count as casting? Judge check. Judge check. Ninjutsu versus containment priest. Does it count as a keyword ability that lets a creature enter combat? Activated ability. Okay. So containment priest would stop it. Copy that. Feast and famine versus fire and ice. I don't know. Wilt potentially. So going to be on the draw. Dazes are less impressive. Force of negation in general is probably less impressive. And we might not have the life for Sylvan Library. I want the Wilts in case they go with the 4/4 plan or the Thopter Foundry. Both of those are, I would say, bad for me. Carpet of Flowers feels less impressive because of the basic swamps they're going to have. If they have Abrupt Decay, well, we didn't see green out of them, but I was going to say if they have Abrupt Decay, that would make Flusterstorm weaker. Dazes for these containment priests. I could like a Flusterstorm over the negation. No, keep the negation. Take a Sylvan Library out. Okay, I can accept that. We still have one for value. The question is, do I want Feast and Famine? Do I want green and black? Do I want the discard? Do I want the black protection versus the blue protection? I like shooting stuff. Don't take that out of context. I mean, I like killing stuff. Excuse me. Okay. So this is Noble Hierarch, turn to Skyclave if they went for something. And they're mulliganing? Keep. The best part about this is if they thought seize me, they can't stop both Noble Hierarchs. I mean, they wouldn't, but they could have Daze. I think Daze is unlikely out of them, but they could have Daze. Well, they could still have an Ornithopter. I was like, oh, they didn't play a creature, but they still could. They did not shuffle. Oh, look who it is. Okay, tropical here. Everyone's favorite Noble Heart. Now, the bigger thing is, do I let, like, if Yuriko jumps in here, do I go for Skyclave immediately on Yuriko? Or do I try to protect with Flusterstorm? I guess the bigger question will be like, well, what are they hitting me with? Island, I'll allow it. Redeploy your Ornithopter. Okay, 4 cards left in their hand. This is all I'm saying. If we slam Skyclave right now, and they have Force of Will, even though this card goes to their hand, that would be bad. Alternatively, I could get a Stoneforge down. And get, like, if I'm worried, what I'm worried about is life loss. I did bring in Containment Priest. I had to go look up the rulings whether that actually worked. Yeah, I'm going to get Batterskull. And I'm not going to deploy the Noble. I want to give myself the chance if, say, they play a removal spell, I could Flusterstorm. Now, I know they got an island. But right now, what I really want to protect is Skyclave hitting... Okay. So are they trying to set something up here? Potentially, yes. They could be getting themselves another ninja, which would be bad news for me. But they could also be getting rid of this island. I think how I'm doing it is correct. Now, I could just flat out be wrong. The fact they're fetching right now before attacking, I couldn't feel happier about. That means they had nothing good. Okay, you gotta have another ninja here. Yep. So this will draw them 2 cards. Or draw a card and hit me with whatever's on top. Of course it was. That was a pretty good turn for them. And Ornithopter is back. Come on, cast that force. Force pitch daze. Nice. I'm glad I also did not run into daze. We could have done that. Who do we go after? I kind of want to take this one. Because this, they'll just attack again. And what am I have to block. I think I have to take that one because that's the most overall problematic. And it allows me to still block on my turn. And then, as long as nothing bad happens, we drop the Sword of Fire and Ice, suit up, and attack. Well, they've got all the Ornithopters in the world. Crap. Why would you play Ornithopter pre-combat? Yep. I accept Underground Sea. Play the other Ornithopter back out. Okay. So one of the 3 cards in hand is Underground Sea. So if I attack with this, it'll be a 3/3. I'm just thinking, what is the best way to prevent... We have to get Batterskull down, so that's 2 mana. Ponder can look for protection. Or not. Cool. If I play this, get a tropical. Skyclave can now swing for 4. Because I really couldn't keep it home. Because it's not a good blocker. I mean, you could block your Rico, I guess, but... Okay, thank you for not killing me. Underground Sea that we knew about. So they still got mystery cards. Baleful Strix. Each Ornithopter is just dangerous. That's fine. Can't blocked. Crap. Jeremy, end step, put the Batterskull into play, please. Jeremy, don't forget. Jeremy. That's not a bad one. Suit this boy. Big bucks, no whammies. I am going to shotgun that outcast so fast if I'm allowed to. I was not allowed to. True name it is. You. All right, I got some blockers. Ponder. So far, Changeling Outcast is going to come through. I'm glad we gained up to 16. I'm just thinking I get the equipment over onto True Name Nemesis. It should be able to swing in uncontested. And then it could gun down Changeling Outcast. I think Changeling Outcast is the one that's going to sneak through with Yuriko the best. Like, I don't have flying blocks anywhere, but I'm just thinking they did not shuffle, which is never good. But I kind of think, like, I got everything going on the table here. There's no shenanigans to be had. Retrofitter Houndry. They can start spitting out some stuff, but True Name should be able to. Plague Engineer. Boo. 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 So here it is. I'm thinking, oh, I got everything covered. Incorrect. We have a dead Merfolk Rogue. So if that outcast attacks, then this can block Ornithopter and then they cash it in. That would stop me too. Trigger. Oh, they get 2 cards off it? That's gross. Drown in the Lock is bad news. Oof. We need some good ones on top. Not what we were looking for. So, if I put Sword of Fire and Ice on Skyclave, they could block there with the Ornithopter. Or what makes more sense is to block the Plague Engineer, and then they'll get a 4/4 back. If I attack with this, they just block and sack, and then I don't even get the life link. You know what I mean? I think this has to stay home. this for the purposes of the life link. We send them both, see if anybody gets through. Just because I feel like it's slipping away. We're also out of water. This game went pretty far. I just noticed how much time is on the clock. So I need to manage that part a little bit better. I just noticed that they are in the red zone for clock. Yep. I find that slightly interesting how that lined up. Like, are they going to let the 4 damage go through? Yeah, that I expected. Okay, so then I gain life. Can I afford to move that over? No, I need to keep force of negation up, so I'm just going to do what we did there. Okay. So I'll take the life gain. This is still a Thopter. That I need to be mindful of. That Thopter is still available there with Changeling Outcast. We currently have Drown in the Lock covered. I'm kind of curious why they didn't stop the Germ. Because now I have it. I have Germ coming back. If they were going to do that, I don't know. Combat for them. Yep. That's the only one. Okay. Take it. Like, none of that is good for me. The drawing cards and the damage. Polluted Delta. Like, every time they miss, I think it like gets better for me. One, two, three, four, five. So now they don't have the Thopter anymore. Fatal Push, and they have Drown in the Lock? See, now what I'm thinking is we can pick up the Batterskull and replay it. But it will take most of my team to do that. And then I still have Force for them. Just a servo. I can't stop either one of those, so I'm not going to try. This is a lot of triggers. That's a lot of triggers. The bigger thing is they have to win 2 games in under a minute. Under 2 minutes. And what I need to do is activate Stoneforge Mystic. Liliana the Last Hope. I will try to stop that. Force of Will, Brainstorm, resolves. All right, Noble Hierarch down. I got Teferi. They do have Drown in the Loch, though. That's true. But I'm pretty sure opponent is going to die before they are allowed to Drown in the Loch. Do you have any blocks? Are they going to cash it in? Oh, they could have cashed it in. They chose not to. That's interesting. No blocks. You got some triggers. Thank you for the games, opponent. They ran out of time on that one, but I feel like part of that is not my fault. You know what I mean? So, best of luck to them. Hopefully, they find a way to make it into the, what do I want to say? The bonus rounds. So, good luck to you, opponent. But hey, we had a 4-1 yesterday, 4-1 again today. That means, you did it. We qualified for the Swiss phase. About frickin' time. Exactly. It has been a while since I've been in the Swiss portion. So I don't know, that feels pretty good. Not gonna lie. I really do appreciate everybody that supports the stream, follows along, cheers me on, roots against me. I don't know. I take your energy and it definitely helps. So actually, this should be a better picture. There we go. We did it. So hey, Noble Hierarch, cornerstone of the Legacy format, did the job for us today. Thank you. Let's I'm looking forward to when's the next time we're gonna play. This coming Thursday is meant to be prep for the weekend. Sunday's event is the showcase, so we are prepping for the showcase. So maybe some more tweaks to this. But the only thing is, I might start late on Thursday because I am getting vaccine shot number 2. So keep it posted. We'll see how we're doing. But yeah, it definitely feels good to have gotten there. Thank you.